John, Clint, and Ryan crashed to the holystone deck of the forecastle. Instantly awake, after being thrown from his bunk, he strained in the darkness for sounds of what was happening. The Savannah listed sharply, then stayed fast. Clint cleared his head and tried to collect himself. He gained his feet, but the ship lurched again with a wrenching sound. Shattering timbers, the splintering cry of a ship dying in the darkness.
Madre de Dios! We are sinking!
A shipmate cried out.
It's every man for himself!
Yelled another.
Don't panic, lads!
Clint managed. Men cursed and cried out, fighting for the ladder and the relative safety of the open deck. Another man crashed into him, and Clint shoved him roughly away. Sinking back into the recesses of his bunk, he calmly checked his waistband. His knife was still there. He waited for the panicked men to clear out. He was experiencing his first grounding, and possibly a sinking. When the clamoring died, Clint made his way to the hatch. Kneeling in the 4-inch deep water, he realized one of his shipmates was down. Hoisting the man over his shoulder, he started up the ladder to the main deck. He strained his eyes but could not see beyond the deckhouse. Clint gently lowered the man to the pine. Clint realized it was the Turk, a man who had signed on at Pernambuco. Again, the brig listed badly. Clint grasped a line and knelt beside the sailor.
Are you all right?
He shouted over the wind.
Turk said groggily, struck my head. What happened?
We're fast on a reef, but she's giving way. I fear she'll broach soon. As Clint regained his feet, Mackie, the second mate, grasped his shoulder and leaned close, shouting to be heard. Clint could smell the rancid breath of a man who had been at the grog.
The captain called all hands,
Mackie slurred. Before he could finish, the foremast snapped, and 60 feet of Sitka spruce crashed to the deck. Tangles of stiff, tarred stays crisscrossed the deck. Instinctively, Clint leapt back into the safety of the forecastle hatchway. Hearing anguished screams, he spun to see the two men before him grasping at the deck as they were carried away in a snarl of line and timber. They were overboard and underwater before he could reach them. The ship listed even more. She's doomed, he thought. If she broached, being trapped in the spider web of line was sure death. A stay looped his ankle, and he went down, but had his knife in hand before he hit the deck. He careened to the rail. For a moment he stared at frothing, dark death, wondering if he should try and ride it out with the ship. Then she listed more, and without hesitation, Clint stepped over. A crashing wave slammed him back against the taffrail. Then the back surge sucked him into the darkness, and the Pacific dragged him under. He fought for the surface. A yardarm slammed into his chest. He took water, burning lungs and throat, but he clung on. Finally, he and the flotsam were moving away from the vessel that would suck them down in a whirling maelstrom when she slipped from the reef. Backhanding the water from his eyes, he could just make out the outline of the ship. The Savannah slithered from the reef with a shuddering moan and disappeared into the deep. He thought he saw the outline of a boat and men. Then water covered him again. He kicked and fought toward where he hoped he had seen the boat. But the wind and smashing waves tossed him back. It seemed a bizarre time to feel fortunate, he thought, looking into the howling blackness where the ship had been. But he knew most of the 24-man crew could not swim. In the intermittent bursts of light, he madly searched the surface of the water for his shipmates. The boat was gone. He spotted no other survivors. Finally, the wind abated, and the 12-foot battering waves became a steady 6. After the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?